Your plans? Today it's dinner with the parents at your spot.
We gotta come back here.
Now, their spot. Or you're on the edge of your seat at the game.
Come on, just one time.
And it's the one. Or maybe you're catching the next flight to...
Now boarding flight 1850.
Oh, that's you. The choice is yours. And when you're with Amex, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it.
Download the BetMGM Sports app and place a $10 moneyline wager on any NBA playoff game to win $200 in free bets if either team hits a three-pointer. Use code LIBERTY200.
Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Hollywood Casino Morgantown.
Hey, it's Christine from Storyworthy. Today on the show, we'll remember the amazing Larry King. Most of you knew Larry as a broadcaster, but really, he was a comedian.
I'll tell you a quick drunk joke.
Let's hear it.
Okay, this guy is an antique collector, and he goes into this store, and there's one of these clocks that, from the top to the bottom, it's one of those stand-up clocks. Yeah. One of those, and the guy buys it, he loves it, and the clerk says, we'll ship it to your hotel. He said, I love this. I'm going to carry it back to my hotel. So he's got this big, enormous clock. He just loves it. He's walking down the street, and a drunk runs around the corner, runs into him. The clock smashes on the floor. Everything breaks. The guy goes over to the drunk and says, what the hell were you doing? What are you thinking? And the drunk says, why don't you wear a watch like everybody else?
Larry King!
Woo! Okay, I told a story last night at an event about the first Jewish president. America elects the first Jewish president, and it's the day of his inaugural. And his mother, his Jewish mother, is sitting in the third row, looking up. And he's up there on the podium with all the celebrities and dignitaries. And the reporter goes over to her and says, you must be so proud, so proud. And she looks at him and says, proud? His brother is a doctor. When people have a British accent, everybody thinks they're smart.
Right.
Is there any dumb British guy?
Yeah, the guy who replaced you on Larry King Live.
Yeah, Piers Morgan.
Yeah, Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
Today on the show, you'll hear Larry on 2 episodes of Storyworthy, plus as an expert judge on Story Smash, the storytelling game show, live at the Hollywood Improv from July of 2018, along with Danny Zuker and Wendi McLendon-Covey. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the funniest night of my life. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Larry King, and you're listening to Storyworthy.
Welcome to Storyworthy. My name is Christine Blackburn, and I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. And whether you're a longtime fan of the show or a new listener, welcome to Storyworthy. You guys, today I am so thrilled and so grateful to be sitting here on my 8th anniversary of the podcast, which in podcast years, Larry, that's like a half a century. And I'm sitting here and I'm talking with one of my idols, Larry King, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Larry. And if you've been listening to this show over the last 8 years, you have heard me mention this man's name more than 24 times. And I mention it because you are truly someone that I have been watching for years, Larry, and I so appreciate your style.
I could tell, Christine, just from sitting here, that you're bursting with such joy at meeting me. This has been a lifetime wish. So I think we should begin by, let me ask you to please get off my lap and just sit up. Christine, I didn't think this would be what it's starting out to be, Christine, and I'm married, Christine, and this is very, Christine.
You have such a beautiful life, Larry. Not only, obviously, are you accomplished, but you've had 5 beautiful children, you have a beautiful wife, And when you think about life, sometimes they say there's three things. They say there's work, play, and love. I see your love. I see your work. What do you do for play?
I don't call work. I've been doing this interviewing thing for 61 years. I'm going to be 85 in November. My father died when he was 46 and I was 9. I never thought I'd live this long. I've gotten through a lot of illnesses and beat them, which I'm very thankful for. My spare time is spent reading. I do a lot of reading. I love movies. I love theater. I don't love travel so much. I mean, I go to New York 4 times a year. We do shows in New York. I still go to do my show every day. I love comedy. If I hadn't become a broadcaster, which I always wanted to do when I was 5 years old, I wanted to be on the radio. It's the truth. I'd have been a comedian. I love stand-up comedy, all the great comics that I've interviewed and spent time with. I love the way comedians think. I tell you, there's nothing in the world, to me, like telling a joke and coming to the punchline, and that moment before the laugh occurs.
Yeah, because you have the power.
When you know you go, oh yeah, you own the stage. You have a lot of power when you're interviewing too, because the good interviewer, it's always in his ballpark. But there's nothing like standing on a bare stage alone. Think of what the stand-up comic does. Stands on a bare stage, no script, a whole audience. If you're doing drama, you don't know how well you're doing. If you're doing Shakespeare, the audience is quiet. They could be asleep. But if you're doing comedy, people don't fake laughter. I asked Bob Hope once, do you have an edge because you're Bob Hope? When you walk on stage, you're Bob Hope. Do you have an edge over Joe Smith? He says, for about 2 minutes. You better be funny.
It's scary. It's so scary. You know, Mindy Rickles has been on my show and my live show as well. And when people hear, you know, it's Mindy Rickles, Don Rickles' daughter, so there's this expectation. Now, luckily, she delivers because she's super funny. But I can see that setup for her is tricky.
Her father was one of my great friends. I spent more time with Don when Don was starting in Miami.
And did you go to his Malibu compound here in Los Angeles?
I did. When I was on the air in Miami when I was 23, and Don was 30, and he was working at Murray Franklin's nightclub in New York. And he would come through the audience and yell at people. And then he came on my radio show. I was doing a radio show at Pumperdick's restaurant. And Don was not well known outside of Miami. And he would come dressed as a busboy.
Come on.
And he would yell at people as he was coming on the show. He'd pass a lady who was a little overweight. And he would say, you're ordering butter. And he was just, in fact, one story I did, Lenny Bruce was a great friend of mine. And Lenny, of course, was a giant of comedy. I know he cursed a lot and he took on religion a lot, but Lenny, there was only one Lenny. And I did a show at this Pumperdick's restaurant in the morning, and Lenny was on with Don Rickles. And Lenny is wearing a prison uniform that he got from Rayford, which is the state prison in Florida. A friend of his smuggled out the uniform. So I said to him, Lenny, why are you wearing a prison uniform? You know, with the number on it and stripes. And he said, I like to wear this, and I like to go up to cops and ask them information about where is this, how do I get certain place. I said, well, why do you like to do that? He said, because I love the look on their faces. The cop thinks, is this an escaped prisoner asking me for directions? Or is this a brilliant escape prisoner who thinks I won't think he's an escape prisoner? Because why would an escape prisoner go up to a cop? So I like to see the things that go through a cop's mind. And Rickles said, Lenny, get a job. Lenny, this is no way to live.
That is really funny. When you did a show in the restaurant, so it was as if it were a club then?
It was a morning show. This Pumpernicks was a very popular restaurant, like Wolfie's, 24-hour restaurant. And their slowest time of the day was mid-morning.
So after the breakfast rush?
After breakfast, before lunch. So they wanted a show where people would come and see, and I was getting a pretty big name as a disc jockey. So I do my early morning disc jockey show, then I go up and do an hour in the restaurant. And it just caught on. Bobby Darin walked in, and Jimmy Hoffa.
It's just
Ed
remarkable.
Sullivan. And that's where I started. So my interviewing started there. We didn't book the guests. I didn't know they were coming. And so I got to like off-the-cuff interviews, not planned. I liked it all off the top of my head. So I got used to that, and I love the give and take. I've been insatiably curious. I'm the kind of person you do not want to sit next to on a plane. I drive you nuts, because I'm curious about everything.
But see, I love that about you, because I also am curious about everybody. I want to know why they chose that job.
Yeah, why are they doing
Why
this?
are they in that field?
I have a motto. I never learned anything when I was talking. Think about that.
Is tremendous.
No, listening audience, you never learn anything when you're talking. So ask short questions, listen to the answer. The answer will always bring you a follow-up. So that's that. If there's the key to my success. My friend Herbie Cohen, who wrote You Can Negotiate Anything, we grew up together, he's still alive. Herbie says, Larry, the secret of your success is you created a vacuum and you filled it. And basically the secret ingredient is you're stupid. In other words, you don't know. And what you do in all your interviews is, help me.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Never mean, why?
Oh, no, you never come off as that. Everybody loves you. I mean, really.
Yeah, but you get a lot of things when you treat people that way.
But also, you're asking the questions that the audience wants to ask, but they're not there.
Someone asked me, what would you have asked Osama bin Laden? Well, obviously the first question would not have been, why did you blow up 3,000 people in New York? The first question would have been probably, you grew up in one of the richest families in Saudi Arabia. Why'd you leave?
Yeah, that's so interesting.
And so we'd all think, why would someone leave a rich family to live in a cave?
Because there is a hatred in him. I think there was a hatred.
But they don't think they're bad.
Yeah.
Nobody bad thinks they're bad. Hitler didn't comb his hair in the morning and say, I am a terrible person.
Yeah. Trump doesn't probably comb his wig in the morning and think, I'm a terrible person.
Trump does not think he thinks but not terrible.
What advice would you give to any journalist living right now in 2018? How do you get to the truth in this environment?
You do the best you can. All you can do is all you can do. You got a lot of facts at your disposal. And there's so much information available that Trump has told already over 3,000 lies printed in the Washington Post. So that you're known.
Do you know any, I mean, obviously you have friends that are Republican, but do you know anybody that would right now stand up for him?
Republican, no.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Look, I know Trump a long time. For a long time, Trump was a friend. We had good times together. He was always very nice to me. Went to the Super Bowl with him.
Wow.
Stayed at his hotels. He never charged me. I had minor surgery in New York. He took me out to dinner the night before. Always nice, and always he was kind of a character. Mm-hmm. He'd come on my show and say, you had the biggest ratings you ever had. You know, but I enjoyed him as a character, and his goal was to get on page 6. But president?
In the New York Daily News.
Post.
In the New York Post. What was page 6, Larry?
It was a gossip page.
I see.
You were as president? No, I can't imagine. So every day I wake up, this is a guy I know 40 years. I can't believe he's president.
Well, it's like nobody can believe it. And to me, it goes all the way back to the fact that, like, he's never done public service. He probably never even volunteered at a school. I mean, like, he's done nothing.
He got 5 deferments from the Army. He's a big bill. But that's the Donald, and we have to live with this. And Hillary ran a terrible campaign.
Yeah.
And you get what you deserve.
Let me ask you something. Do you think Kathy Griffin crossed the line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Too bad.
It's about time you forgive people. When you stand up on a stage, not everything's going to hit, and sometimes you got to show poor taste. But as Trump is, he's a big fan of evangelicals. Evangelicals believe in forgiveness. Why can't you forgive?
No, I definitely do, and I don't like the rap that she got. But I feel like the joke with the big blimp over London right now of the baby Trump, like that's funnier than what she did.
Well, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course,
what
it's
she
funnier
did was more shock value.
That's what the blimp is, obviously an absurd expression of dismay by having him be a blimp hanging over the city.
Yeah, people say that he definitely gets, that gets under his skin when people attack him like that in a personal way.
He is very thin-skinned.
Yeah.
And he attacks back.
Yeah.
That's Donald. Now, I can't say I've always had a good relationship with him. He called me during the campaign all the time.
No kidding.
He knew I was for Hillary, but we talked about things. He asked some advice sometimes.
No kidding.
But since he's elected, I haven't heard from him.
What kind of advice would he ask?
He would ask for things like, do you think I should, what do you think, I'm going to debates. Do you think I should engage these people? But then it was always about him.
Yeah.
I tell you how much it's about him. He called me one day, they did an article on me in the Sunday New York Times. It was a very nice article, big article. And he called me up, he said, and that was a wonderful article I read about you, Larry. I really thought that was wonderful. And I said, Donald, in all the years I know you, this is the first time you have said something to me not about you.
And what did he say?
He said, I wanted to ask you, do you think I should do an interview with that guy?
He's not hearing. That's the narcissistic personality disorder, I'm sure of it.
He's the Donald.
Yeah.
But he's president.
So, listen, I want to touch on a couple more things, including baseball. You have a love of the Brooklyn Dodgers, the same love that my father had. And in fact, I bought my father your book about baseball.
Yeah.
And my father always said, I can't tell you what I had for dinner last night, but I'll tell you the starting lineup of the 1955 Brooklyn Dodgers. And you had that in common with him. And baseball has been so much part of your life.
I'll explain that.
Yeah.
Baseball is the best sport ever invented. It's a genius sport. It's genius. Whoever invented it is genius. Why 4 balls and 3 strikes? Why? It's just no 2 fields are the same.
What do you mean no 2 fields are the same? I mean, they all have the...
No, the infields are the same, but outfield in Fenway Park is different than Yankee Stadium is different than Dodger Stadium.
But the parameter is the same.
The parameters in the infield are the same, in the outfield are not.
I didn't know that.
One outfield could be 300 feet to right field, one could be 400.
I did not know that.
Okay, baseball's an unusual game. There's so many facets to it. And it gets into your skin. And if you grow up in a town where baseball, and in Brooklyn, growing up in Brooklyn, baseball was part of the fabric of your life. I was at Jackie Robinson's first game. I interviewed him later in life. In Brooklyn, that team was part of you. And when they left, I left the same year. I went to Miami to break into radio, and they went to L.A. But I used to say, you can take me out of Brooklyn, but you can't take Brooklyn out of me. And then 22 years ago, I moved to L.A., reaffirmed my love with the Dodgers. I have two beautiful sons, both of whom are baseball players, who grew up at Dodger Stadium.
Wow.
And they're both gone tonight.
Yeah.
And they're infused with the same thing, the pitcher and the catcher.
Is it the
You want to
simplicity?
see a movie called Field of Dreams?
Oh, yeah, sure.
The simplicity and the complexity. Baseball is athletic chess. It has no time limit. If I'm going to a baseball game, I don't know when I'll be home. There's no time limit. It's innings. Baseball game could take 3-4 hours or 2.5 hours. Who knows? It's just a wonderful. If you're not a fan, you can't become a fan when you're an adult. It's too complex.
Yeah, interesting. Have you been to the Negro, what was it called? The
Negro
Hall of Fame in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I've been there, and that is a fascinating museum.
Yeah, it is.
Talking about when they had the Negro Leagues, and they would travel by bus in these shitty accommodations.
When we were kids, we had no prejudice. I never used the N-word. I did. And we did not understand why there were no black players.
Yeah.
We knew about the Negro Leagues. We knew about the great players of the Negro Leagues. Why? And so all my life I was raised with this simple fact, in fact, a question I've never gotten the answer to. Why does the pigment of a skin matter? Why does it matter?
Yeah.
What does it have to do with anything? Why would you spend your
no idea.
life hating someone?
It's taught. I mean, people,
Yeah, I know, but
they're not
taught-
people aren't born that way.
If you're taught stupidity, when you get an education, wouldn't an education tell you that this is stupid?
But a lot of racists aren't educated.
I know, but if you go through high school, you should be. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Open your eyes. What
So
are you
you
talking
have to feel. Lenny Bruce used to say, you have to feel better than something else. You have to feel better. And Lenny said something to me once. Someday, when they get equality, blacks and whites are totally equal, they're going to have something to hate. You know who they're going to hate? Eskimos. Yeah, those goddamn Eskimos. You got a problem in the world, the Eskimo caused it. Yeah, don't let an Eskimo come near you, because they got to hate something. And then the Eskimos will hate someone.
Yeah.
You know who the Eskimos will hate?
Who?
Midgets.
Oh, gosh.
Midgets. You got to be carefully taught.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really an overwhelming issue that is so confusing to me
And
as well.
economically stupid. Let's take the South.
Yeah.
The South of the United States. They had to build schools far away from this school so that black kids couldn't go to school with white kids. They had to build 2 bathrooms when all you needed was 1.
Right.
2 water fountains when all you needed was economically stupid.
Hey, did you ever meet Fred Rogers?
Of course, interviewed him 3-4 times.
Oh, no kidding. Because I just saw his movie.
I hear it's terrific.
It's so terrific. And he does this thing about, it was in the early 70s, and they had been kicking black people out of swimming pools, public swimming pools. And so Fred Rogers did this episode where he was soaking his feet in a small tub of water, and he invited his friend, who happened to be, African American, to sit and soak his feet in the tub, to try to teach, that we've got to come together.
Do you know when
This
Sammy
fear,
Davis...
the fear is baseless.
When Sammy Davis worked in Vegas, if he swam in the pool, they would empty the pool and put in new water.
That's not true.
Yeah, this is crazy. True. Sammy told me.
Wow.
Why?
And you loved him, right?
I loved him. Sammy was a great,
An amazing talent.
amazing talent.
Yeah.
Anyway, Caroline, I tell you what.
Christine.
Why did I call you Caroline? Because of Caroline's nightclub.
Oh, okay, I'll take that.
That's a comedy club here
Yes.
in L.A.
In New York.
Yeah, and you get nice singers there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Christine, are you Christian?
No, I'm agnostic. I don't.
What were you born?
I was brought up Catholic, and a lot of guilt, and I had to go to church till I was about 15, and then
Jews
that.
invented Catholics.
Yeah.
We gave you your leader.
I love Jewish people because of how funny Jewish people seem to be,
They're
how
funny.
smart, and how they seem to always be a step ahead. At least here in Hollywood, so many of my friends are Jewish, and everybody is just incredibly bright.
There's dumb Jews. The Jewish sense of humor is intrinsic. I think, there was humor, a sense of humor in concentration camps.
Yeah.
There were comedians.
Do you remember the movie A Beautiful Life?
Of course.
Yeah, and that was lovely. He played a clown, as it were.
Anyway, whenever you want me back, I'll come back.
Larry, you were so funny on Story Smash. And actually, folks, that episode is up next week. Larry King.
It hasn't been up yet?
No, it's going to be up July 23rd. And it's along with Wendi McLendon-Covey, actress Wendi McLendon-Covey, and also writer, executive producer of Modern Family, Danny Zuker. And you three made such an amazing panel of judges. And Larry, you knocked it out of the park. I mean, people were just howling with laughter. You were so funny. You were right in the moment, and that's like part of your greatness is being in the moment.
It goes up the 23rd.
Yes.
I go up the 23rd.
Well, this episode, what we're talking right now, goes up on the 16th, celebrating the 8th anniversary.
It goes ahead of that.
And it's after that, yeah.
So I did that before this, but
That's
this
right.
goes before that.
It's so complicated, isn't it?
It is. Well, it's a complicated business.
It is, and I'm doing my best, And you, seriously, sir, you have given me so much inspiration over the years, and I really appreciate your time.
I'll leave you with a joke.
Okay, great.
This couple has a baby, and all they got was a head. Just a head. And the doctor says, in all my years in medicine, I've never seen this. No body, just a head. Take your head home, and we'll work on this. 6 years later, they get a call from the hospital. We have found a body for your head. Bring your head in tomorrow, and we'll do the attachments. They get so excited. They run up to the bedroom. They pick up the head, and they say, "Head, we have such a surprise for you." And the head says, "Not another hat."
That is terrific. That's a great joke. Thank you for leaving me with that.
Thank you, Christine.
Really appreciate it. And on behalf of the talented and fantastic Larry King, thank you so much, sir. Really.
Thank you, Phil.
My name is Christine Blackburn, saying make it a story-worthy week.
Thank you, Whoopi.
Hi, Larry.
Hi, Christine. We're both quarantined, right?
Yes, we are both quarantined. Do you have plenty of supplies?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of supplies. I just got going crazy because I don't go out at all. My son is 21. He goes to the grocery store, but this is the worst. I can't imagine anything like this. Who could have thought this could ever happen, to quarantine the country? But it is what it is. I wasn't here in 1918 when that flu spread, so I don't know what that was like. But I know this country has never been in the fix that it's in, and we don't have very good leadership at the top, sad to say. So I hope we can. The best thought I can have is to muddle through.
Yeah, I've been thinking about what you've been thinking because you've seen so much in your life, especially being someone as active and outgoing as you are.
Luckily, Monday and Wednesday, I get to do my job. They come to the house, they set up the whole thing, and I do interviews from the house. I can at least do that. So at least I'm not outside, but at least have the experience of working.
Sure. But Larry, how many people come into the house?
Oh, no one comes into the house but one engineer. The rest are on their computer screens. So the only people who come to my house are Erica, who takes care of me, she's like part of the house. David, who is the engineer, and my friend Greg, who visits with food occasionally. They all wear masks.
Okay, I am so glad you're being safe.
Oh, you're not kidding. And anyone can get this. No one's immune from it. Rich, poor, Latino, Black, Jewish. This virus knows no enemy. It takes everything.
Yeah. How are your boys?
21 is with me. The 20-year-old is with his mother. Chance is at Southern Cal, but he works by internet. He does his work every day.
That's
Cannon
great.
goes to junior college, and he doesn't quite have that amount of work to do. Both are great kids. They're great kids. I miss Cannon with me. But, hey, it's good to have Chance. He takes good care of me. In fact, almost too good.
You're such a wonderful father, and I always loved seeing you with the boys at the Dodger games.
You will again if they ever return. I grew up a Dodger fan growing up. I'm so glad I showed the boys baseball, took them to baseball games when they were 4 and 3. One of the toughest things about this time is no sports. There's no sports.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts. No sport.
It's really odd.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Odd ain't the word. You turn on, where's baseball? Where's the end of the NBA? I don't know how they're going to get to go back too quick. As long as you have this 6 feet parts, you're going to have a baseball stadium with people sitting 6 feet apart. It's going to be a joke.
So what is the news you're watching, Larry? Who do you trust now?
I watch the network news every night at 6:30, and I watch MSNBC. I know everybody that works. I don't trust Fox at all. And my old homeland, CNN, I still watch them. I'm a news junkie, but I also found myself of late watching movies. And, you know what I mean? It gets to be too much. I can't say I can't take it. I got no other course. But I look outside my window. It's such a sunny day here in Los Angeles, as most of them are. And no one's on the street. No one's on the street.
It's so strange. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the gas prices are super low. But who cares? Because no one can go anywhere.
I haven't noticed because I haven't been out. But I would guess they are pretty low. They've cut down on all consumption, sure.
So who's your favorite nightly news anchor right now?
I like the guy on ABC is very good, young guy. I like Brian Williams on MSNBC. I like a few. This is a tough time to be an anchor. You don't bring any good news. You're only bringing bad news. This is just, Kate, we should postpone this interview until another time because all we're going to do is depress each other.
No. Listen, I want to tell you how much I admire you, Larry. You keep moving forward. And I know you went through a recent divorce, and that's got to be tough. But if you're not happy, you have to get out, yeah?
Yeah, I just didn't work. I mean, we're still friends. But look at it this way, Kay. I'm going to be 86 years old. I've had every disease you could have. I've had cancer. The number one candidate for the coronavirus. What the coronavirus fits, it fits me. Senior citizen, heart disease, diabetes. I wonder how it's missed me.
Because you're taking the precautions.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this so I've discovered in life is at this age, when my marriage was unhappy and we discussed it at this age, my wife gets mad when I say this. I don't want to do anything I don't want to do. It's selfish, very selfish. I don't want to do anything I don't want to do. Period. So
it makes all the sense in the world.
For someone my age, it doesn't make sense if you're 40. You're 40, you got to visit the in-laws. The things you got to do in marriage, you got to put up with things. I don't have to do anything like that. And it feels wonderful. I like being married. We were married 23 years. She's a beautiful lady. She's only 60. I'm sure she'll meet someone. But right now she's up visiting her folks in Utah with Cannon, and they're quarantined in their house up there. There's nothing like it. I don't know what they're bearing on. There's just nothing like it.
Now, do you know if your parents were alive during the 1918 Spanish flu? Did they ever talk about it?
Something funny? I never did. And they were both alive, both young. I was born in 1933. I don't remember anybody ever telling me a story about 1918. Must have happened.
Yeah,
I must have
interesting.
had a lot of stories. But remember, they also had communications vehicle we now do. There was no television.
That's right. And also, you were so young when your father passed away. You were only 9.
That's been the most telling blow in my life, the loss of a father. Every boy should have a father.
Yeah. And that might be why you're such a good one.
I guess that's good reasoning. Yeah, I guess I am a good father because I never had one. I mean, my father, when I was 9, he died. So I knew him, but didn't really know him. My brother, who just passed away, sadly, my brother was 6. He has no memory of my father. He looked like the actor Dane Clark.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he was a good-looking guy, and he had a Yiddish voice, Yiddish accent, but he had a very good voice. I must have got my voice from him because he had very deep tones, and he was tough. He was rough on me. He was not easy. I'm a much easier. He was very strict. We used to go to Hebrew school, and one day I didn't go to Hebrew school. I didn't go. So my father's sitting at one side of the table, my mother next to him, I'm next to him, and my brother is on the other side. And he's eating soup. My father, and he casually says to me, "How was Hebrew school today?" And I lied. I said, "Fine." He didn't say a word. He whacked me across the room. He hit me. I went across the room, and he kept eating his soup. Then he said to me, "Never lie."
I bet it worked, right?
By the rod. It was a different world. You can't do that now.
What was your mother doing?
She was yelling at him, yelling at my father, and coming over to grab me because it was such a shock. He whacked me with the pan. I flew out of the chair. And it mystified me was he kept on eating the soup. He just kept eating the soup. Don't lie. He kept eating the soup. It was now it's funny.
Have you told your sons that story? It's a funny story.
They know all my stories. There's nothing to tell my sons. I've told them everything.
I have to say, your voice has gotten better over the years, which
I
is so
stopped
impressive.
Smoking 25 years ago. And the voice had more scratch to it. It's still not perfect. It's not the way I'd like it to be, but I've always been lucky with that. I've never taken voice lessons. I've never had maybe 2 or 3 sore throats in my life. I've been lucky that way. I except for the heart attack, I missed almost no work in 62 years. I went to work because it wasn't really work.
Right, because it's what you wanted to be doing.
It was a joy. I did a lot of comedy, and I did my own television show. It was fantastic to do your own show, and for all those years, 26 straight years in one place on one network, it's all incredible to me. And when I think about it, I look about it, and I sometimes say, "Kate, was that me? Did that happen to a Jewish boy from Brooklyn? His father died when he was young with a I remember the first time we were international, so anywhere I went in the world, I was known. And we went to South Africa to do some shows. And I'm walking down this village, and this guy sticks his head out of a hut and says, "Larry King live."
That is a terrific story.
Oprah Winfrey tells a story. She's on a safari. And they're in Africa, a photography safari. And it's obvious that the head of the safari doesn't know her. It's obvious he doesn't know her.
Right.
So she said to him, do you know who I am? And he said, no. And then she said to him, do you know Johnny Carson? He said, no. She said to him, let's list the names. And finally he said to her, you know Larry King?
That's a terrific story.
And as Oprah said, that blew her mind. When Ted Turner was such a genius that he was able to put a network on all over the world, and there was nothing like those days at CNN and riding high, and presidents and dictators and bad people and good people. We had them all.
Now, I remember when you interviewed Linda Tripp.
I did. Had my name in all the obituaries in Time, in New York Times. She was the one that came up with the blue dress. Save the blue dress.
Was she hard to interview?
She was a tough lady. I liked her. A lot of people didn't. A lot of Clinton fans certainly didn't. I was a Clinton fan. I liked Bill a lot. But there was something about Linda Tripp I liked. And of course, she turned out to be right. Found her forthcoming. She had a great story to tell. My God, you can't sit with a better story than that about the President of the United States and a blue dress. And she's the one that told to keep the dress. Don't clean the dress.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What a life we've lived through, huh?
I'm telling you, it's wild. Now, what would you say to Donald Trump right now? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he talked to you.
He did come on when he was running. Well, I'd known him for 40 years. I must have interviewed him many times.
Yeah, you've had a good
Very
relationship
good, but
with him.
I never thought president. I mean, he was fun to be around. He caught me at all his hotels. He had enormous ego. Everything dealt with him. He was kind of like a character. And as my friends and I would have dinner with him and stuff, he was a character. When I had some small surgery in New York, I took my wife to dinner the night before. He was always great to me, but as a president, oh my God, he is so lacking in areas of intellect. It's all about him. Now, it's okay to be all about him but it's not okay to be all about him if you're president. And it's all about him. This is all about him.
He doesn't have the skill set. He never did.
Right. This is not. He's a businessman. He's just.
Yeah, I mean, we need a public
You know what he's
servant.
in? He's in over his head.
Yeah.
And we bear the brunt of that, So I'm only hoping that wise lips persuade him somewhere. I don't see that happening because when you deal with Donald, everything has to do with how he looks. Every move he makes is, will he be reelected? There's that joke of his wife said to him, God, I'm cold. And he says, you can call me Donald. That's
so
Donald
funny.
Trump.
Hey, listen, what are some of the shows you've been watching while you kill time in quarantine?
I watch the new shows. I watch Seinfeld every night. I watch repeats. That's
nice.
Most brilliant. That's such a brilliant show. That crew, they did an incredible job. The laughs were incredible. The show about nothing.
Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, super funny.
So it's really, he's a genius. That show has no script. They tell everybody the scene, they play out the scene, then they edit out the best parts, but it's all their own feelings.
Okay, now have you watched Tiger King?
Okay, I got to think about that show. My son loves it. The New Yorker magazine just reviewed it now for 4.5 pages. I don't get it. Wow. I don't get it. A tiger rips off a kid's arm, and then they walk around, and there's crazy characters around there, and the public, it's Netflix's biggest hit. Certain things, maybe I have to look at myself. What did I miss? I missed something here. Because first of all, I'm Jewish. Tigers don't thrill me. This kid put his arm in the tiger's nest. The kid is nuts. Nuts.
No, I mean, it's okay. A lot of people hated the Tiger King. You're not the only one. Larry, I am encouraged by you, and I am so glad to see you're still doing the show.
It's on YouTube. It's on Aura. It's on Hulu. I'm all around. Just I'm not on the big networks, but all together, we have an enormous viewership, especially overseas. We got millions overseas. We lead the world in viewership.
Well, over 60,000 interviews is a lot of interviews.
Damn is. I didn't miss many. Oh, what a day. Now, another big day. I got a big day coming, KO, to tell you about it.
Okay, let's hear it.
This will be over in a couple of minutes. Going to have a little lunch. Then I'm going to do my exercise, walk around the park, walk around the house. I walk around my apartment with a walker. I had a stroke last March, and the only thing that left me with, I can't walk on my left foot.
And what is wrong with the left foot?
What do they call it? Drop foot. So I worked with the therapist, but now he can't come. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. I can move it around. It's just when I step on, I can walk with a walker, which is fine. And when we go outside, I'll take the walker. And I'm learning to walk with a cane. I don't care if the left foot never comes. By the way, left foot is of no use unless you're walking. Look at your left foot. Look, what does your left foot do for you? Nothing but walk. But you don't appreciate the damn left foot until you don't have it. And that's true of so many things in life. We don't appreciate it until we don't have it.
Listen, I admire you so much, and I am just so thrilled that you're doing all right, and I just want to wish you the very, very best, Larry. You stay
Same
safe,
to you.
okay?
I'll think about you. I'm trying. Thanks, Sonny. Great talking to you.
All right. One more time on behalf of the legendary Larry King. Thank you so much for coming on the show, sir.
Thanks, Sonny.
My name is Christine Blackburn saying, make it a story-worthy week.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hollywood Improv Lab. Make some noise. You guys are in the right spot for comedy. Welcome to Story Smash, the storytelling game show. This is amazing. Let's put your hands together for the creator and host of Story Smash, Christine Blackburn.
All right! Woo! Welcome to Story Smash, you guys. My name is Christine Blackburn. 2 words, Larry King. Wow. I am so excited. You guys have picked a fantastic night to be here, so thank you for coming, thank you for coming, thank you for coming. And we're going to get started right away and reveal the Wheel of Stories. There are 12 permanent topics on the wheels, you guys, and there's also 1 additional space that says free. If the contestant lands on free, that the storyteller can tell any topic on the wheel. There's also 3 spaces that say audience, and if the contestant lands on audience, then it's up to you guys to throw out your story suggestions, and then our expert judges will choose one of those suggestions to be the topic. So are you guys ready to hear some true stories? All right, then let's get started right away and bring up our very first expert judge, and his name is Danny Zuker, you guys. Danny Zuker. He is an Emmy Award-winning television writer and executive producer of ABC's Modern Family. But most importantly, this is his 6th time on Story Smash judging. You also have to look for his new book called He Started It on bookshelf soon. It chronicles his Twitter war with President Donald Trump. Follow this American hero over there on Twitter at Danny Zuker. Put your hands together for Danny Zuker. And coming to the stage right now is the amazingly talented Wendi McLendon-Covey. You guys, she is an actress, and she's a writer and an improviser who currently plays one of the TV's greatest characters, Beverly Goldberg, on ABC's The Goldbergs. You've also seen Wendi on Reno 911 and films like Bridesmaids, Think Like a Man 2, and Blended. And this fall, she'll be in the feature film Goosebumps Haunted Halloween. You can find her over there on Twitter at Wendi McLendon-Co. Put your hands together for Wendi McLendon-Covey! Here she comes. If anybody ever deserved an Emmy, it's this woman right here. There she is. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited and extremely honored to have this next judge. He is an American television and radio host whose work has been recognized with countless awards, including 2 Peabodys and 10 Cable Ace Awards. For 25 years, he hosted the nightly interview television program Larry King Live on CNN, and he currently hosts Larry King Now and Potlicking with Politicking. Politicking with
Potlicking is good, though.
On Aura TV. You can also find him over on Twitter and hear all about his 2 cents at King's Things. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Larry King. Woo! All right. All right, now this is an amazing show we've got lined up for you guys. Danny, this is your 6th time hosting, is that right?
It is, but I have to say, I feel like a seat filler at the Oscars right now. It's really diminishing returns on the whole fame and talent thing. So
now
good.
Look, All right, now look, we're going to be playing 3 rounds of the game tonight. The first round is a true 1-minute story. The second round is a true 2-minute story. And then you guys will select 2 contestants to move on to the third round and tell a true 3-minute story. Larry, what do you think would be the hardest to tell? A 1, 2, or 3-minute story?
1, because the more time to expand. I'm Jewish. I could do 30 minutes. You know what I mean? This is 1 minute is harder than 2, and 2 is harder than 3.
I absolutely agree. Wendy, what do you think?
I couldn't tell a story in 1 minute. That's why I will never be a contestant in this contest.
But you'll make a great judge. Danny?
Well, just to pick up where Larry left off, I would say 3 is harder than 4.
Okay.
And 4 is harder than 5.
Well.
Okay.
You've hit on 4.
4 is maybe the magic number.
It's the most difficult.
Yeah, you're right.
Of all time.
Yeah, it's hard to stick that landing.
Jackie Mason discovered that on Ed Sullivan years ago.
Yes.
When they waved the
Holy fuck, Larry King is talking to me.
All right, you guys, check it out. We've got 1 new addition tonight, and Danny, you're going to love this.
Oh.
We have 4 contestants playing, and then we have an audience member. The audience members have put their name in the pot there, and we're going to be calling out an audience member to play the game. So that's very exciting. And by the way, when the contestant comes to the stage, we're going to give them a round of applause. Then I say, tell them what to do, and you say... Okay, now it's on the back of your clipboards as well, in case they forget. Let's try it again. Tell them what to do. Okay, I think they're going to be fine. What do you think, Larry?
I didn't know this was Wheel of Fortune.
All right, you guys, right now, coming to the stage for a true 1-minute story and to kick off this amazing game is the one and only Lauren Reeves, you guys. Lauren Reeves. Lauren Reeves, she is a former TV news reporter, and she's turned a comedy writer, and she has performed and contributed to shows like The Late Show with David Letterman, Jimmy Fallon, Saturday Night Live, and Comedy Central at midnight. You can currently see her on Netflix's Todd Glass Act Happy, and I love this, she has a book coming out this fall, and it is available for pre-order, and it's called And Then You Die of Dysentery, Lessons in Adulting from the Oregon Trail. You know that game, the Oregon Trail? Yeah. It's going to be amazing. That's right, everybody dies of dysentery. It's going to be amazing. You can find her on Twitter at Lauren Reeves. Give her a big round of applause, Lauren Reeves. All right, now tell her what to do. That was a good spin.
Thank you. Oh. Ooh.
Hooking up.
I have a story for you. This is a 1-minute story. I could go on for a long time. I could probably write a movie about this. But I was dating this firefighter when I was a teenager. God bless them. They are amazing. They put out fires. They save lives. And he thought I was cheating on him with his best friend, who was a pilot. And I was. But and so his friend, who's the pilot, Jay, he's over at my house. He spent the night, and I hear this loud noise in the morning, and I look out my window, and the fire truck is pulling up, and the ladder's coming up into my bedroom with him on the ladder. He's going to sneak in and see who's in my bed with me just to prove that Jay is the one that I'm sleeping with, and I was. And so I heard all this happen, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, my God, Jay, you have to get into my roommate's room. And so he ran into my roommate's room. I was like, Chelsea, I'm so sorry, but Casey's out there with the fire truck. He's going to look in my bedroom. He's looking for Jay. Just pretend like you guys are having sex. And so that's what happened, and he looked in, and I was like, what's going on out there? I just woke up, and I gaslit him for the entire relationship.
Lauren Reeves. Look at the time. All right. That was a straight minute. Okay, Wendy, what did you think about that?
You dated a firefighter and a pilot as a teenager.
Yes.
I just wanted to... Oh, sorry. I have one of these. Wow.
Thank you.
You make me feel lazy. I was not allowed out of my dog crate as a teenager, so good job.
Thank you. And to be fair, they were teenagers too. So I was
A teenage firefighter?
Yeah. So he was.
What, do you put out fires at kindergarten?
I know. He was a volunteer firefighter for the University of Alaska, and so
Alaska.
Well, now that
in
adds
Alaska,
another dimension.
I know. And
Are you from Alaska?
I'm born and raised in Alaska.
Where?
Fairbanks. Have
What
you
do they
been?
do there? What do they do there at night?
At night? I don't know. I mean, I
Cheat on firemen.
Sleep with the local firefighters and pilots. Big orgy at night.
Yeah, no, but they were both my age, and they just one was flying planes since he was like 7 years old or something, and the other one was a firefighter, and I was a reporter, a news reporter, and we were all teenagers.
As teenagers.
This is Alaska. This is.
I can't wait to read your book.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Larry King, what'd you think?
I thought she was terrific. I thought it was an unusual story, to say the least. And what happened to your roommate?
We stopped talking for 7 years. She told him eventually on Father's Day. She goes, "You need to come over here. I have to tell you what's going on." She told him that I was hooking up with his friend, and she was supposed to be my best friend, but she was also cheating on her boyfriend, and I never would have told him.
Are you still wild?
No. That's
Larry.
I know. You would think so, but I
Hashtag
basically
me too.
I spend basically every night with my dog watching Netflix, and that's my life now. So,
Is it a Dalmatian?
All right, you guys. Lauren Reeves. Give her a hand. Lauren Reeves. And that is how you play the game. Coming to the stage right now for a true 1-minute story is the one and only Bob Wiltfong, you guys. Bob Wiltfong. Bob Wiltfong, he is a former TV news reporter as well, turned actor. You've seen him on The Daily Show as a correspondent, The Chappelle Show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Superstore, and way too many commercials than I can name. Please follow this Nebraskan and family man at Bob Wiltfong. First, let's give him a round of applause. And now let's tell him what to do.
I don't know what to do. Thanks for that help.
The longest goddamn wheel in the.
I've already lost.
Interviews.
Interviews. Okay. As was mentioned in my introduction, I'm a former local TV news reporter. So Larry and I think we worked together at our first market. No, I'm kidding. I worked in Lake Charles, Louisiana, which is Market 190. That's probably about the same market size you started in, Larry. And we had a story of a convicted child molester. It gets really funny here in a second, by the way. And my job as a TV news reporter with this convicted child molester was to go and make sure that he was aware his neighbors were not happy that he had moved into the neighborhood. You can imagine. They had called the newsroom and said, "Hey, this guy is living next door to us, and we want to get him the hell out of there." So we were interested in that. And my job was to knock on this guy's door and see if I could get an on-camera interview with him. Because what better way to go on with your life as a convicted child molester than to appear on the local TV news? So I used some guilt and felt really slimy and positioned it to the guy as if, hey, they just want to know who you are, so leave you alone. They didn't leave him alone. They kicked him out of the neighborhood after that. Thank you very much.
Bob Wiltfong, ladies and gentlemen. Stay right here, friend. Larry, what'd you think of that?
That was a story that went nowhere. I want to tell you something, Bob.
Yeah.
If that's your biggest one of the night, go get an early dinner.
Okay.
No, I love you, Bob.
He's Larry King. What can I say?
I started in Miami, and I have interviewed child molesters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys.
Okay.
Danny Zuker.
First of all, I'm tired of these guys bragging about talking to child molesters.
Yeah. I think you are a child molester.
People have said,
Okay.
yeah, just the glasses.
Okay.
I'm not one to ever go against what Larry King said.
Yeah.
So I'm going to choose to say it was an unconventional story in that it had no point.
Yes.
And I think that takes courage.
Thank you.
It's very avant-garde.
Thank you.
And I love you, Bob Wilfong.
Thank you,
Okay,
Dan.
thanks.
Wendi McLendon-Covey.
You can't make a child molester story your 1 minute story.
That's like storytelling
Because I
101.
gotta know how it ends, and now you've left me with blue balls up here.
Bob Wilfong, ladies and gentlemen. Let him hear it. Bob Wilfong. Wow, these guys are good, right? They're not messing around. All right, coming to the stage right now to tell a true 1 minute story is the audience member. The audience member. And so now Danny Zuker is going to call out the name of an audience member who's going to come to the stage and play this game. And I got to tell you, this is not going to be easy. For whoever this is, whoever's coming up, it's not going to be easy, so give them a lot of love. Would you do that? Yes. Yes? Okay, who's playing? Who's playing, Danny Zuker?
Hold on, I will tell you. Jen Polanski, come on down.
Jen Polanski. Jen Polanski, where is she? John Polanski. It's John. It's a boy.
Oh, it's
changed.
John.
John Polanski's coming to the stage. Big
John,
round of applause.
Better, yeah,
And
sorry.
now let's tell him what to do.
Right.
Don't look so excited.
I tried to do it fast for you, Larry.
You're the best so far.
Drunk tank.
What is a drunk tank? I don't even know.
It's kind of like when you get arrested for being drunk, or you've been very drunk and gotten yourself into some trouble. How about that?
Oh,
Any drunk story, really, John.
Any drunk story?
You look like a drinker.
Oh.
Oh, I'm the bad guy. Did you hear Larry King?
Okay, no. I have a great story. Okay. I was in my 20s, and I was in San Diego with a bunch of friends of mine. And we're cruising around, and I'm like wasted, totally wasted. And we come up into these British guys, and I don't know why I did this, but I started doing this British accent against them, okay? I was like, what the hell, mate? What's going on? You know, and it was like right up against them right here, okay? So all of a sudden, shit's going down. Looks like we're about to fight and all that stuff. And then a buddy of mine just pulls me away, takes me around the corner to an alley, okay? So we go down an alley. All of a sudden, sucker punch right in the eye. I turn around. All of them are right there. It's like a showcase showdown. So I start swinging like really crazy. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm totally wasted, and my buddies pull me away, and everything gets separated. No cops involved. I get home later that night, and I have the biggest shiner ever, like forever. I don't really speak in a British accent anymore after that experience. So.
John Polanski.
Wow.
John Polanski, nice job.
Good work.
Stay with us. Stay with us. Wendy, what'd you think?
Everyone thinks they can do a British accent, and there's no reason to do it. There's just no reason to do it.
Danny Zuker.
Like, this is a small point, and I haven't watched Price is Right in a long time, but are there fisticuffs in the Showcase Showdown now?
Shit gets real in Price is
Shit gets
Right.
real in
Yeah,
Price is Right?
It gets real.
I'm going to have to DVR it.
Yeah.
That took a lot of guts to come up here, and honestly, you were passable.
Okay,
So
thank
that's
you.
amazing.
That's not bad. Larry
Danny
King.
says I'm passable. That's good.
Well,
Thank
you know, when people have a British accent, everybody thinks they're smart.
you. Right.
Is there any dumb British guy?
Yeah, the guy who replaced you on Larry King Live.
Yeah, Piers Morgan.
Yeah, Pierce Morgan.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick drunk joke.
Let's hear it.
Okay, this guy is an antique collector, and he goes into this store, and there's one of these clocks that, from the top to the bottom. It's one of those stand-up clocks.
Yeah.
One of those and the guy buys it. He loves it. And the clerk says, "We'll ship it to your hotel." He said, "Oh, I love this. I'm going to carry it back to my hotel." So he's got this big, enormous clock. He just loves it. He's walking down the street, and a drunk runs around the corner, runs into him. The clock smashes on the floor. Everything breaks. The guy goes over to the drunk and says, "What the hell were you doing? What are you thinking?" And the drunk says, "Why don't you wear a watch like everybody else?"
Ah, Larry King. Woo. All right, John Polanski. Give him a round of applause.
Good job, John.
All right, you guys, 2 more storytellers coming up to tell a true 1-minute story. And right now, you're going to hear from Lana Turner. Lana Turner, you guys.
Lana
She's a
Turner
comedian
died.
and a musician, and her 1-hour special titled So I Wrote a Song About It is available on Hulu, and her comedy visual album, which is fantastic, it's called Limeade. It's also available on YouTube and Amazon, and she's appeared on NBC, Comedy Central, Animal Planet, Netflix, VH1, CMT, True TV, and she hosts the very, very popular Perfect 10 podcast. Find her on Twitter at Lana Turner. You guys, put your hands together for Lana Turner. All right, you guys, tell her what to do.
You wore a nightgown, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing another show after this, and it's naughty, so. Hence hooking up.
Hooking up. Whoa, hooking up. Oh, she has notes.
I do. I had to write notes. So, okay, you guys ready?
Yeah, we have to deduct a point, but that's okay.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I was a very, 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 very late bloomer. Totally lost my virginity really late, and I was in college, and I didn't know anything about anything. But I took scuba diving, which is a class you can take in college, and they had this thing where if you messed up in class, you would get a beer fine. And I messed up, and the whole class went down under the water, and I bubbled up to the surface, and the instructor came up and said, "Well, you have a beer fine or a date with me." And I was horrified, right? Because I didn't like him. But I went out on a date with him. And so we ended up going back to the dive store. And so the first guy to ever go down on me, because I didn't like him, I might as well get something out of it, was a dive instructor in a dive store. And that's the ultimate hooking up. And I did it in under 40 seconds.
Lana Turner. Wow. Larry King, you get the first dibs on this one.
So you were shy and backward, just learning about life. And you meet this guy you don't like, and he goes down on you in a dive store.
Well, you have to. If it's a dive instructor in a dive store and you've never had anyone go down on you, don't you think, Larry?
What are you doing later?
Wendy McLendon-Covey.
Was this an accredited college? Was it because you said a beer fine?
Yes.
For a date?
Yes. I know. I went to a great school.
So what is a beer fine?
I think that everybody pitched in money, and then at the end of the end of the course, they had a party. Which
This is not a good
I know it's not. I went to
Danny
shitty school.
Zuker.
I mean, you've described my favorite subcategory of porn. So, yeah, so there's that. I was wondering, when he was done, did he come up too fast, or did he slowly get the bend? Yeah, because you get nitrogen in the blood.
You don't want to get the bend.
It can bubble. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, but I passed the class with flying colors, and I didn't have to study, so it was cool.
Wow. And you didn't have to do anything. He did all the work.
I know.
Fantastic.
It's awesome.
Donald Trump's on the phone. He wants to meet you.
Oh, Lana Turner, you guys. Give her a big round of applause. Lana Turner. That was amazing. There's one more name in the bucket, and I'll tell you, you guys are in for a real treat. It's Brian Finkelstein, you guys. Brian Finkelstein is an Emmy-nominated writer, but more importantly, he is undefeated at this game, Story Smash. I think he's won 3 times, maybe 4 times. He's also a regular performer at Upright Citizens Brigade Theater here in LA, as well as the host of all of the Los Angeles, not all of the Moths, but a lot of the Moths here in Los Angeles. And he's performed solo shows in a variety of venues, from the HBO Comedy Arts Festival in Aspen to the Summer Nights Festival in Australia. Follow this guy, who happens to be one of the nicest people I've ever met, over on Twitter at BS Finkelstein. You guys, put your hands together for Brian Finkelstein. All right, let him know what to do.
We get it. You donate to public radio.
Oh my gosh. Brian has landed on audience. And I'll tell you what is so crazy about this, as he has landed on audience 3 or 4 times before, and he always pulls it off. So we're going to see it again happen. Do you guys have some story suggestions for us? Halloween. What else? Pro wrestling. Grandma. What? Korean barbecue. Siblings. Weird dreams. Toilet. What? Broken toilet. High school. All right, what do you guys think? Are you hearing some of these suggestions? Larry, did you hear some of them?
Dime store.
Dime store. What does that mean?
Goes back to the last one.
No, that was a dive store.
Oh, that was a dive
A
store.
dive store.
Like a dive bar.
I think a dime store is cool, though.
All right, what do you guys think? Come on, one more time. Larry,
guys.
Larry
Hey, guys.
King just took a call.
Hey, guys,
Hold on.
keep it down.
What is happening?
It's all good, man. You can take a call.
What do you think?
I heard grandma.
Let's do grandma.
Grandma. Everybody has a grandma. All right, you guys, give him another round of applause.
All right, I'll tell a story about. I told a story about my grandma last time, so I'll tell a story about my mother, who's a grandmother. Who this story once got heard by her granddaughter, my niece, because I told it, and my niece was there. But this is my mother got divorced when she was when I was young, and my father hurt her, broke her heart, and married a younger woman. He's an asshole and a racist, and a New York City cop. I guess that's anonymous. And so he so my mother didn't like. She wasn't with anyone, She hated men. She became bitter, justifiably. And but she dated this one guy for a minute, and his name was Tony, and he owned a bowling alley in town, Bowl of Fun, and he drove a thing. And I never knew if my mom so I don't know if my mom's ever had sex since my father, except for this one time that I walked in her, just sort of follows the last story, and I walked into my mom's room, and this is kind of gross, but I've asked my mom, and she said it's okay if I tell this. And I walked in, and my mom was like in the chair, and she had her shirt on, but she had no pants, and Tony was pleasuring her, which I know is terrible to talk about your mom that way, except for to say, like, my mom was smoking a cigarette while it was happening. And I kind of think that's badass, and it makes me happy that my mom had some pleasure in life.
Brian Finkelstein, you guys. Brian Finkelstein, stay here. Wow, that is exciting. Larry King.
That's a story that'll stay with you forever.
And now you too, hopefully.
Well, it was wonderful hearing from you, Bob, and you have great memories of your mother.
Brian.
I told the story
Thanks,
last
Steve.
night, Brian.
This is Brian. No, this is Brian. No worries. We'll get another guy, Bob.
Is this my career here tonight? Okay, I told a story last night at an event about the first Jewish president. America elects the first Jewish president, and it's the day of his inaugural. And his mother, his Jewish mother, is sitting in the third row, looking up. And he's up there on the podium with all the celebrities and dignitaries. And the reporter goes over to her and says, "You must be so proud, so proud." And she looks at him and says, "Proud? His brother is a doctor."
Oh, man. All right, Danny, what'd you think of this story?
My brother literally is a doctor.
Well, I mean, it was my second most searched for porn category, grandma's smoking. So there was that. No, you took me on a journey. I've only seen my mom ever it's barely sexual at all, but being double teamed by the gardeners. So,
Danny.
true story.
All right, Wendi McLendon-Covey, tell us about your grandma.
My grandma?
Yeah, sure, why not?
She's awesome, and she was, a wave. Does anyone know what a wave?
No, what is that?
She was
Women's Navy. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Very badass, very not cuddly or whatever. And she used to tell me, "Look, sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do. Don't cry about it, just do it." And you know what? She was right. And she's 94 and still kicking, and I love her. She's very badass, but not quite the multitasker that your mother is. So I love this story.
Sometimes you have to do things you do want to do, too.
Yeah.
You know what?
She should really try and quit, though.
She should try to quit, because that's an addiction.
Having guys go down on you.
All right, you guys. Brian Finkelstein. Okay, that was a very exciting first round. And now, for the second round, all 5 names are going back in the jar. And this time, Larry, they're going to tell a true 2-minute story. And that's like double the fun.
I guess. I don't know. We didn't time those stories, did we?
Yeah, there's a clock here. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but this is the clock that they're looking at.
And they all were under a minute?
Well, when the glass smashes, let me hear that glass, Richard. When that happens, then it's over.
Okay. I don't think I ever heard one.
It went off, but everybody was pretty much on time. Danny, what did you think?
No, everybody was on time. I mean, we were sort of cut short on the child molester, but I feel like he's going to pull it. I feel like good old Bob's going to pull it out this time. We're going to have a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, I think so. All right, you guys. Coming up right now to the stage to tell a true 2-minute story is once again Brian Finkelstein. Right, you guys? Brian Finkelstein, here he comes. Tell him what to do. If you land on an audience, I'll die.
Wheels getting on my nerves.
Pets.
All right, I'll tell you a story about Eddie Dashnow. Eddie Dashnow was a guy who lived in my neighborhood. You guys probably everybody has an Eddie Dashnow. He's a guy who wears camouflage, like in high school, and aviator sunglasses, and nobody really likes him. He has a snake around his neck. You know, like that guy. Like, they get older, they become the guys that collect antique cars. Like, look at me. He's that guy. And so he had snakes, and he nobody really liked him. He was a lot older than us, and he would like swim. We lived by lakes, like upstate New York, and he would like swim in the water. Like, he saw some movie with Chuck Norris where he'd like swim with a knife in his mouth because he thought it looked cool. And so he's always like he's going to kill somebody. He had a lot of animals. He had tarantulas. He had like a lot of like weird dogs, and he had snakes, and he had a crow called Hawkeye. That was this big black raven or crow. I don't know the difference, but they're evil, and they're apparently very smart. And but he trained it to attack on command. So he would say like, Hawkeye, get. And then Hawkeye would fly up and then come down and just like sort of peck at people. And one day we were playing baseball, and there's this girl, Michelle Dukas, who was a friend of mine. And Michelle was playing, and she was up at bat, and this fucking hawk just came down and started attacking Michelle in the hair. And I hit the crow with a bat, and I did it. And then I thought Eddie was going to kill me, and everyone's like, Eddie's going to kill you. And Eddie said to me, I'm going to kill you, which is why I thought he was going to kill me, why everyone said that. And then, so I was completely scared. And then one day, Eddie was in the woods, and he shot a guy, a human being named Mr. Stetler, who lived in the neighborhood, who was wearing hunting gear in fall in New York when there's no leaves on the tree, and killed him, and went to prison. So it was like right around the time that Eddie was going to kill me. So I feel like Mr. Stetler took a bullet for me, literally.
Brian Finkelstein. Wow, that was a great story, Larry.
That was weird. As the crow flies.
As the crow flies.
What happened to the crow?
I don't know. I think I hurt that crow seriously. But it was either Michelle Dukas or the crow. I made a choice. Why does everyone laugh every time I say Michelle Dukas?
Michelle Dukas owes me $10. Wendy, what did you think of the story?
That is how you tell a story, okay?
Yes.
Unexpected twists and turns, crows, man versus beast.
Prison.
You know, prison, all the elements. All the elements. I'm intrigued. I want to know more.
Now, Wendy, you have pets. You're a cat lady, as it were.
Yeah, yeah.
And how many kitties do you have now?
Now I only have 4.
4. Because Darla passed away, I know. I'm sorry.
Christine?
I'm sorry.
Why would you do that?
Christine?
Well, I'm sorry. No, I just...
Let's keep it on no. You don't want to make Grandma cry tonight.
But you have some fantastic cat videos. You dress them up. You give them parades. They have parades.
Yeah, they have parades.
And so that's fantastic.
Shut up.
Totally healthy.
Yeah.
Danny, what'd you think of the story?
Well, that was it had good twists and turns, and you described my least favorite kind of person, because when I first moved down to the beach, where I currently live, there's one dude, he's no longer there, but when I first came down to the beach, there was a guy on roller skates with a boa constrictor, and his whole vibe was, hey, don't ask me about the boa constrictor. But you could totally see...
That's all he wants.
All he wants is to talk about the boa. Like, you can't... And I realized if you're going to have a boa constrictor or your ferrets, you can't be like, hey, check out my boa constrictor ferret. You got to be like, fuck you, it's a boa constrictor. So my story didn't really have an end.
Hey, Larry, let me ask you, do you have any pets right now, Larry?
My dog died recently, which is very sad.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
fantastic.
King Cavalier, they're beautiful dogs.
Oh, they are beautiful.
He was a great dog. I loved him. But he was not a great house protector.
Really?
Well, if a stranger came to the house, he would show them. Go up the stairs there. Try the second drawer. There's all the wife's jewels.
Oh, man. Funny dog. All right, you guys. Brian Finkelstein.
Good job, Brian.
Okay, you guys, coming to the stage right now to tell a true 2-minute story is Lauren Reeves, you guys, from Alaska. Lauren Reeves. All right, you guys. Tell her what to do.
I tried to do a short spin for you. Ooh.
Okay.
Free.
She landed on free, so she can choose any topic on the wheel.
Oh, I can?
Yes, you can.
Oh, that's what that means? That's not the audience?
No,
Okay,
that's
cool.
when it says audience.
Oh, gotcha. Sweet. All right. Well,
So you can
let's
choose any story you
see.
like.
I want to talk about firemen. You know what? I do have another story about a fire chief, and this would fall under the category of interviews because I used to be the Larry King of Alaska.
Yeah.
I know thank you. I'm honored, but I used to be a news reporter in Alaska. And a news anchor. Yes. Oh my God. Thank you. Wait, what's your name? Terrence. We're Twitter friends. Oh my God.
Stop the clock.
I love when this happens.
Yeah.
I
Oh
love when
my
this
God.
happens.
A fellow Alaskan. Terrence, you made it here. Can we please give a round of applause?
Friendship.
Thank you.
All right, Terrence.
Oh my God. This just made my night. Because you don't live here. Oh my God, and you came down here. Oh, I saw on Twitter that you wanted to come to the show, and he's here. And thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Terrence.
you so much. Oh my God. Okay.
Lauren, I'm happy to walk you to your car.
What's the story?
I know. I'm sorry, Larry. Okay, I'm restarting the story. So now I'm distracted, but interviews, fire chief. This is what I was going to tell you. I was a reporter. I covered cops, courts, fires. I've seen some really fucked up things. I've seen dead children. You should never see that in your lifetime. And I had a police scanner that I would basically sleep with. Not that way, but I would have a police scanner on my pillow every night. And if it went off, I was there. I was like, oh my God, a car crashed on Farmers Loop Road. I got to get there. And I thought I was doing... I was like, this is amazing. I'm so versatile. And there was this guy I used to cover. There were a lot of fires that started happening in the Gold Stream Valley in Alaska. And I would interview the fire chief who was new. And he's like, I don't want to be on camera. And I was like, that's weird. So I thought maybe I should look at his resume. And I go up to the mayor's office, Rhonda Boyles, at Mayor Rhonda, and I go, hey, can I get a copy of Chief Rich's resume? Because I don't think he's legit. And she gives it to me, and I look at it, and then I start calling the Adelanto Airport Fire Department. And they're like, oh, yeah, it said he was the chief of there for like 17 years. They're like, no, he bought a fire truck at an auction and's driving around the streets with it, and we had to kick him out of Adelanto. So I had this all recorded, and I tell Rhonda, I was like, he's a fraud, and we have to fire him. So we show up to the fire department, and she fires him. She's like, you got to go. And he goes, I will kill you if it's the last thing I do. Because I busted him, but he didn't kill me because I'm still fucking alive, bitch.
Yeah. Lauren Reeves, wow. Alaska is a crazy place. Have you been to Alaska, Larry?
Never been to Alaska. I've had friends that have gone there and they say it's beautiful. Did you know any Eskimos?
Yeah, I dated a few.
Shocking.
There's a real theme though of you fucking firemen. You know that, right?
I mean, I fucked this guy in a different way,
but yeah.
But I did fuck him.
Yeah, you totally
Thank
fucked
you.
him. Bravo.
Yeah, Wendy's mouth is hanging open.
I can't shut my mouth. I can't believe what's coming out of yours.
I know.
2 words. Mayor Rhonda.
Miranda.
She sounds fun.
She's amazing.
And a little incompetent.
Also, she owns all of the Burger Kings in Alaska, so I got some free meals out of that lady.
I was also...
No, Lauren, you pick up where Northern Exposure left off.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. I am intrigued. I want to hear more.
Thank you.
And just, I think, for the audience and everybody here, we were grateful that you had to qualify that you weren't masturbating with the police scanner. There was that moment where you go, when you clarify, I was sleeping with it, but not that way.
Yeah, we weren't
Because
sure.
we all
'Cause
jumped to
I know what
you
your
furiously
perverted
masturbating with a...
minds are thinking.
Lauren Reeves, you guys.
Thank you.
Give it up for Lauren Reeves. All right, you guys, coming up right now to tell a true 2-minute story is Lana Turner. Put your hands together for Lana Turner. All righty, let her know what to do, folks. Tell her what to do. Holidays. She's looking down at her notes.
Okay. All right. So I've only done any kind of illicit drugs, like very little. Mushrooms, that's pretty much it. One time acid. Twice. One time at a concert in college, and then another time many years later at Thanksgiving. And what happened was I was in Florida, and I was doing a gig, and my husband booked something back here in LA, and I was really excited, and I wanted to get back here. And it wasn't a great show because I was working as a comic. I was making it hard for the headliner. She was much older and just a little senile and whatever. So they were happy to let me go for the week. So I got on an airplane and I flew home and I surprised my husband. As I was driving up in the cab, I was talking to him. I was like, oh, I wish I could be there for Thanksgiving and I'm so sorry I'm not there. And then all of a sudden, I ring the bell and I'm there. And we had the best night. My husband made a huge Thanksgiving. He did everything big, especially the holidays. We had like 30 people in the house and somebody busted out the mushrooms and we all took them, which made me incredibly paranoid because you never want to do that shit in your own house. But it was this crazy night, and the next morning we woke up super late and he was really exhausted to go to this special thing that he'd booked. But we made it out the door and it was a phenomenal weekend and I got pregnant. Right? So I got pregnant on mushrooms on a weekend. I wasn't supposed to see my husband, and we didn't make a baby. We made a Smurf. So that's my story about a holiday.
Lana Turner, you guys. Lana Turner, and she did it in a minute and a half.
What kind of child did
Stop
you
that
have?
clock.
Oh, I had a little girl. So
How old is she now?
now she's 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I have one of
Does
each.
she know the story?
No, not yet. But trust me, she's going to have plenty of issues. I'm fucking her up, so she's going to be great. Very funny. She'll be funny.
It's a mushroom story.
Yes.
Danny.
My daughter's actually here, by the way, one of my daughters.
Really?
Yeah, she's right there.
Oh, welcome.
And then, but famously for us, my wife was very into methamphetamine at the time, and that's how ours were born.
So she's hilarious. Good job.
Wendy, what did you think of that story?
I love the story, but if you're gonna say you were on drugs, I want to know about what you were hallucinating. Like, did you have any? Like, was there? Okay, you got pregnant, and that's great. But while you were actually high, what happened? Did you
I
have
just
any?
stared at my kitchen table with all the food on it and couldn't figure out how to get it from the table to the fridge. I was that. It wasn't a fun high.
All right. Well, I see why you left that out.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Lana Turner. Let her hear it. Lana Turner. Great job. All right, you guys, coming to the stage for a true 2-minute story is Bob Wiltfong. Bob Wiltfong. Give him a big round of applause. Be kind to Bob. All right, tell him what to do. Oh, holidays.
So close, you almost got involved. Okay, holidays. I'm the father of 3 kids. Thank you very much. Thank you. I was not doing drugs when we fornicated for these kids. But I have a 12-year-old son named Sawyer, an 11-year-old girl named Berkeley, and a 9-year-old boy named Rigby. And when they were a little bit younger, right in the sweet spot of Santa Claus time, because I'm not Jewish, is we wanted to, and that was the primary thing I wanted to get across tonight, my storytelling, I'm not Jewish, is, I don't know. When they were in their sweet Santa Claus time, I wanted to be a good dad and build up this, the magic of Christmas time. So my great idea, quote unquote, one Christmas was to put out a video camera Christmas night, and we were going to capture Santa Claus putting the gifts by the tree. And it sounded like a great idea until I had to actually execute it because I had to be Santa. So I put like this webcam down by the tree, and I framed it up, and I put on some pants when it's, some Santa pants and some boots, and I trounced through the house by the camera and made my best attempt at what Santa might sound like if he was trouncing through the house, like ho, ho, ho. And we put out gifts. And the next morning, all the kids open up the gifts, and I bring my youngest son into a room, and I want to show him the Santa video. I said, hey, Sawyer, man, we captured Santa on video. And he's looking at his house, and he looks at this video, and I could tell within like 5 seconds, this is creeping this kid out massively. There's a strange man with a very deep voice that is walking through his house while he's sleeping. And I showed him the video, and then I wish to God that he'll never remember it for the rest of his life, and haven't said anything to him since.
Bob Wildfong. Larry, what did you think of that story?
That's a great story.
Oh, thank you, Larry.
Scare your shit out of your son.
Yes.
Great story. That's a good one. I like that.
Oh, thanks, Larry.
Now, Larry, you have 2 sons. Have you ever scared them?
I have 3 grown-up too. No, my 9-year-old, my 19-year-old, when he was 9, revealed to the 8-year-old that there was no Santa Claus.
Oh boy.
And he did it because we have a home in Utah. And
what was this? What was that thing?
Utah.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
I'm Jewish.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Sorry.
I walk down the street and they go, there goes a Jew.
Yeah. I wouldn't know because I'm not Jewish. Right.
You've made that amply clear.
No, we got him. We got him one of those hockey games, that big board where they play hockey. And he was in 9. Chance came over to me and said, I want to ask you something. Santa Claus travels all around the world, delivering gifts off a sleigh. How the hell does he get that whole hockey board on and still get to everyone else? There is no Santa Claus. And, of course, I, being didactic, said, you're completely right.
Yeah.
This whole thing is a fraud. And then they told Cannon, the 8-year-old, and he, of course, lost it, started to cry.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. And my wife still doesn't talk to me.
That was harsh. Wow, Larry. Wendy, you grew up with Santa Claus, right?
I hated Santa Claus.
Really?
And when I was 6 years old, I found out the truth and was like, oh, thank God there's no one coming into the house.
Yes. That's why you hated Santa Claus.
You are a good dad.
Oh,
because you put in the effort.
Thank you.
All right? That's just good parenting. You were trying.
Yes.
You were trying. You'll tell that story at his wedding. All right?
Okay.
You're a good dad and a fun dad.
Thank you.
All right, you guys.
Story.
Bob Wildfong, let him hear it. Bob Wildfong. All right, moving right through. Coming up to tell a true 2-minute story. This is the audience member, and he's coming back up right now, so give him a big round of applause. John Polanski. Here he comes. He's drunk now. Tell him what to do.
Spin that wheel.
Okay, kids. You get me, guys. You get me twice, not once, guys.
I'm stoked.
Food.
Okay, I have a request. Can I change the topic to a
No.
free topic? Food? Yes, I go to Junior's and sometimes I see Larry. That's my food story. Not Junior's.
Cantor's.
Thank you. Food. Okay. One time, I got incredibly sick. Okay, this is kind of in line with holidays as well too. So we'll do a 2-for-1 here. So one time I got sick. So I'm Jewish as well, so I went to like a traditional Christmas dinner, and that night I had something, I don't even know what it was. It was a green jelly or something like that. I was getting incredibly sick. Not throwing up sick, but just really, really, I was starting to feel really wheezy, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, the owners, the people at the house, this was a girl I was dating at the time, this was her family, they had a dog, okay? So here I am, I'm sitting, I'm not really feeling well, and then the dog all of a sudden just starts to like go at it on my leg, okay? So I'm feeling horrible, the dog's going at it. All of a sudden, I'm like trying to shake the dog out, trying to shake it off my leg. I'm like literally near throwing up, okay? And then I shake it, but then I get up all of a sudden, and then I hit the Christmas tree a little bit, and I knock it over, and the thing starts to catch on fire, okay? There's fire everywhere. I feel like shit. The dog is still on my fucking leg. And they had to call the paramedics right now. Basically, I ended up in the bathroom all night. The fire was put out. It wasn't too crazy. Eventually, the dog got off my leg. And that was my food story.
John Polanski.
That's
John
amazing.
Polanski.
And I did it in 1 minute and 40 seconds.
What did you think of that, Wendy?
That would make a good movie scene. I'm sorry you had to go through that because being nauseous is bad enough.
Oh, gosh.
Without being molested.
Right, yeah.
By a beast. I am sorry.
Thank you.
But write that up.
Okay.
Larry King.
You are so empathetic. You care about all this. You cry.
Very emotional, yeah.
This is
Thank you for noticing that.
This is supposed to be a funny night, you know what I mean? And you got me crying here.
I know.
You start, I feel
That's
sorry for your
mission
cat.
accomplished.
Larry.
I always want to bring the
First of all,
room
I
down.
don't know how to tell you. I have an appointment I have to go to, so let's.
Okay.
I don't know. I hate to leave in the middle of this.
No, you're going to be fine. We're wrapping this up pretty soon. We're going into the third round. You like the story, though, yeah?
I like this story.
All right, Danny?
Larry. Thank you.
I mean, bad for the Jews. That's all I'm saying.
You get no love.
Real quick, 15
of
second
course,
story.
go, yeah.
My family's all heard this. I married into a Catholic family. Polish. The Polish version of this family, the half, it was Polish Italian. Went there. They're looking at me like I have horns and killed Jesus, and they offer me borscht, which is like a Polish borscht, and they're like it's like, oh, I like horseradish, and they're scraping horseradish in, and they're standing across from me like the Last Supper, like the same thing. And I take a big, I go, no, I like hot food,
Yeah.
and this is first meeting them. I take a big gulp and immediately spit across my entire family like it was a Gallagher concert. And
Oh,
yeah,
my gosh.
terrible.
All right, you guys. John Polanski, let him hear it. Okay, so that was the second round.
Yeah, now we pick.
And now we're gonna pick two people that are going to go on to the third round. These guys are gonna do it. Put 1 minute on the clock, if you would. You guys have 1 minute to choose two of those names to go into the jar. If you could do that right now, I want to thank a couple of people here, including Richard in the back. Thank you, Richard. Give him a round of applause. Also, Craig at the bar. Thanks, Craig. Jim Coughlin over here on the clock. Thank you, friend. We just celebrated the 500th episode of Storyworthy, my podcast. What do you think of that? 500 episodes. Amazing. I wanted to tell you that. And also, we'll be back here at the Improv on Saturday, July 28th. And tickets are actually available right now. So you can get a ticket to come on back and see Story Smash the next episode. And boy, the name is already going in the jar. That's exciting. Are you guys having fun? Yeah. Are you guys having fun? Yes, thank you for coming from Alaska, sir. Where can we follow you on Twitter?
Team A Tie. T-H-A-I.
Teammate tie.
We
Teammate tie.
have the two winners.
No, they're not two winners. They're going to say one more story, Larry. Stay with me. They're going to come up and tell one more story. These two people are going to tell. This is the final round.
We have to tell you the two people, right?
I got them right here. They're right here.
Oh, you put it in there?
Yep, he already did it. He snuck over and he put them in. Okay, here we go. These two people are coming up. Well, right now, we're going to hear from this person telling a true 3-minute story. It is Lana Turner. Lana! Come on up, Lana! Here she comes. Tell her what to do. Thank you.
Will.
Not too hard.
You should know that Larry really fought for you.
What's that?
Larry really fought for you. Like it was like
thanks,
he
Larry.
was throwing down. We were like, nah, but he was.
You'll be my future ex-husband.
Let's get the clock.
Get in line.
I get free?
All right, she landed on free, so she can choose any topic on the wheel. What's it going to be, Lana?
For the record, I am Jewish, so free is great. Okay, I think I will do interviews.
Okay, on interviews, it's a 3-minute story. Here she goes.
Okay, so I used to work as a journalist as well. I was a photojournalist, and I used to go do stories about various events and things. And I had to do this like weekend at a Last Wishes camp, and it was really, it was sad. You know, I mean, these kids are in there, and every day I would go and I would interview different kids and take pictures, and it was a life-changing experience for me. You know, I mean, like so touching and so incredibly difficult. And now as a mother, I mean, oh my God. So, but at the time, do you guys have a favorite hat? Like just a hat that you love so much that I was wearing this hat all summer. My uniform was a baseball cap, jeans, t-shirt. So I was like always wearing this, and this hat had Bullwinkle on it, and I loved it so much. And I wore it every day. And this kid would come up to me every day and be like, ma'am, I love your hat. And he just kept bugging me. He's like, I really want your hat. And I was like, I didn't want to give him my hat. I mean, it was my favorite hat, right? I mean, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, but ma'am, I really like your hat. I was like, all right, fine. So at the last day when I was up there, he came up again. He was like, I really want your hat. All right, fine. So I took off this hat. I didn't want to, but I had to. I gave it to him. And it made him very happy, which made me very happy. But I'll tell you guys, the good news was that the doctor told me I would get it back in 6 to 8 weeks. So I totally had to, you guys. I mean, everything about this story was completely true except for the end. So there you go. It was short.
Lana Turner. Lana Turner.
That was good.
All right. Okay. So she didn't use all her time, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a good story, Wendy.
It's hard to time these stories out, really. I don't know. All right.
I love that you gave your hat to a dying child.
Yes.
Okay? Because I would have said, honey, I've got hat hair. I can't be doing that.
To the bald child.
Yeah.
Danny.
I'm a garbage person, but I loved your story.
Thank you.
Great story.
Oh, thank you.
You liked it, Larry?
I'd have given him a yarmulke.
I'm gonna say fuck that kid. I mean, no, I'm kidding. It's really sweet that you did that, and then I won an award, and my mom. I promised my mom I would give her this award to hold on to, and it's an Emmy, no big deal. And anyway, but it was like she's 80. I'm lending it to her, really, right? So that's been my feelings. If she was like a teen mom and had me,
you're gonna get it
I'd
back.
never fucking give it. No, so.
Lana Turner, you guys. Let her hear it. Lana Turner.
Great.
All right. This is the final storyteller of the night. Final storyteller, Larry. Are you ready?
Ready.
This is going to be a true 3-minute story by the one and only Lauren Reeves. Come on up, Lauren. All right, you guys, tell her what to do.
Spin that wheel.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm here. I had like 3 or 4 gin and tonics.
All right. Get ready for a fireman in Alaska.
She's
Baby,
landed
we
on audience, you guys, on audience. That means you throw out the suggestion. Come on, I want to hear some strong suggestions. Let's go. Eskimos. Firemen.
No.
High school. Halloween. Carnival. Bears. Exercising, acrobats. What do you guys want?
Eskimos.
Eskimos. That's it. Larry King says Eskimos.
I was leaning toward that.
All right, here she goes.
Yeah. I call them Inuits, though, because I'm evolved.
Good.
Woke.
And you know that you should call them. There's a lot of different kinds of Eskimos. You can start the clock. This isn't part of my story. It's just that when I was a news reporter, I got a lot of phone calls where I was calling Tlingits. That's a certain type of Eskimo. I was calling them Klingits because that's how it's spelled. And I don't think people should spell things not how they're pronounced. That's just me. So I want to talk about Eskimos for a minute because they're not what you think they are. They're people.
Really?
Just like you and me. And this is going to shock you, I hooked up with an Eskimo.
Not shocked.
No way!
Did you rub noses?
That is just a kiss, honey. Let me tell you what happens beyond that.
You fucked an Eskimo.
I did. Fucked up. You know, I did, and
you're gonna win this. You know, you're gonna win this.
Thank you. I haven't thought about this in a very long
Lana.
time. I'm
Don't
sorry.
even go any further. You win.
Everyone thinks, Eskimos, they live in igloos and they kill seals, and that's all true. That's true. They do all that. They live on subsistence diets. So they
short.
They're shorter than me. I'm like 5'10" and a half, and the Eskimo guy I hooked up with was probably like 5'7". I wouldn't do that now.
Gross.
Just like the height. I like guys above 6 foot. But I don't even want to talk about the guy that I hooked up with that was an Eskimo. I want to talk about this guy who killed a woman. He was a cop.
About to lose it.
Pretend I'm wearing like a bikini in this part because I confronted this cop from Nome. Nome is where the Iditarod ends, where they like rush all the sled dogs to the end of the race. And this cop was accused of killing this 19-year-old girl. She was an Eskimo. And I met him and his lawyer when they stepped off the plane in Anchorage because he was going to a safe house to be safe from everything. And I was like, "Did you kill Sonia Ivanov?" And his lawyer's like, "No comment, no comment." It was like totally in my face. And I was like, "Do you know your third-party custodian?" And he's like, "No comment." His lawyer's a real jack-off. And then I stopped being a reporter, and this guy was found guilty. He killed this 19-year-old girl who was an Eskimo.
Lauren Reeves, ladies and gentlemen. Lauren Reeves, wow. Now, Larry, can I ask you to say hello, Fairbanks?
No, I used to do it the other way.
Okay, let's hear it.
Fairbanks, hello. By the way, that was a heartwarming story.
Thank you.
And I'm trying to see if you looked up the cop to see if he was a fraud, because that's what you like to do, turn people in, right?
Oh, I'm all about it.
And what was the Eskimo's name that you slept with?
I think it was something like Jack Johnson. I'm pretty sure it was very...
They don't have Eskimo names?
No, that is an Eskimo name.
John?
Like John Johnson, Jim Jimson. Eskimo names.
I don't know why. I thought they would have different names.
You should look up a list of like Alaskan. Seriously, it's like they have a lot of Alaskan Eskimos and Inuits and Athabascans. They have like 2 first names where it's like Jimothy,
or
Tim
Ed
Johnson,
Edwards. Yeah.
Ed Edwards, John Johnson.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Wow. We are learning here tonight. Wendy, what do you think?
You are the most fun. You have
Cry.
a lot of information. a lot of different information that I have not heard ever in my life. But I want more from you just across the board.
Thank you.
Across all platforms. Yeah. That story was all over the place.
It was totally. I wanted to go Larry's
engaged.
direction.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I got a good one.
Well, you've had, come on, you've had firemen up the escape,
Firemen.
to the thing, run to the thing.
Up the escape.
Tell you,
She didn't say that. I think it was
I couldn't
straight
even
set.
She has lived.
Now, let me ask Larry something. Larry, you've been married 8 times.
Correct.
And I understand that with one of your wives, you asked her to marry you on the first date. Is that true?
Wrong.
Okay, interesting. Why did they say that then? What is that rumor?
Well, let me close by saying.
This is the closer.
I've had a wonderful week here tonight.
What was this harder than the Marlon Brando interview?
No.
Okay.
I love Marlon. I have by the way, about Marlon Brando, he kissed me on the lips at the end of that interview.
That wasn't on TV.
That's correct. Live television. I've never been kissed on the lips by a man in my life.
Let's
I
go
gotta
for
tell
2.
you,
I can take a hint.
Yes.
Danny.
Never interrupt a story. I've never been kissed on the lips by a man in my life. And to tell you the truth, I still can't stop thinking about him.
Oh, shit.
My theory on marriage is what you like at age 20 is not what you like at age 30. What you like at age 30 is not what you like at age 40. I didn't cheat. I didn't run around. But when I met a girl when I was 20 and she was 18, I thought this was the love of my life. If I got married early and then later I discovered it wasn't. I'm always amazed that people married 60 years. How much did they have to give up? How much did each person give up for that? But my last marriage has lasted 21 years.
Beautiful.
We have 2 boys. I have 3 grown children. I have 2 boys, one 19, one 18, done without Viagra. And I'm much older than I'm 26 years older than my wife.
Wow.
And she's very pretty, and and when we're together, I know what people are thinking. I'm my age, her age. They look at me, they look at her. I know what they're thinking. I always say the same thing. If she dies, she dies.
Oh, my God. Okay, now listen.
That was funny.
That was very funny.
That wasn't, oh, my God.
No.
That was funny.
It was funny. But do you want a kiss from Danny Zuker? I just want to be clear.
I don't think.
Because I wouldn't mind seeing that. No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying a big kiss.
Look,
I'll tell you what.
Okay, here we go. Let's see this. Come on, you guys.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry King and Danny Zuker.
Someone get a picture of this.
Get a picture. All right, here we go. Take a deep breath and...
No tongue.
Yeah! There you go.
Happy Pride, everyone.
Lauren Reeves, ladies and gentlemen. Lauren Reeves. Give her a round of applause.
Honey, it's over.
All right, you guys, that is the end of our show tonight, but these guys are going to now do the very difficult job of choosing a winner.
So
hard. Put 1 minute on the clock, if you would. 1 minute on the clock, and you guys are going to choose the winner, and I want to thank a few more people here.
You don't need the minute.
I need a minute, Larry.
You don't
Give me a
need the
minute.
minute.
1 more minute. Jim Coughlin, give him a round of applause.
Yes.
Richard in the back, thank you. Craig at the bar, thank you. And I got to tell you, the winner of the night gets my very famous chocolate chip cookies.
On behalf of the judges, I will announce the winner.
I would appreciate that. Larry King will now announce the winner.
Sorry about that, Wendy. I know you had your heart set.
I had a special dance to perform. Whatever, it's fine.
A winner is the Eskimo firefighter,
Lauren Reeves. Lauren Reeves, come on up, friend. All right, thank you so much for coming out tonight, you guys. Let them hear it. Danny Zuker, Wendi McLendon-Covey, and Larry motherfucking King. My name is Christine Blackburn. Good night.
Finding the right person for the job isn't easy. Just ask someone who hired a monster truck driver to deliver pizza.
And the neighbors are going wild. You can hear that engine from a mile away, Fran.
And he's foregoing the driveway and heading right up the lawn and over the azaleas. What a power move.
But if you've got an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can bundle your policies, which could save you hundreds.
With 6-foot tires and a roll cage, this pizza guy can quite literally crush the competition.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, visit geico.com/local today.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Hi, it's Carl Deichler, CEO of Beachbody, and I'm giving away 10,000 free memberships a week to try our amazing Beachbody fitness and nutrition programs. Pick any program and just follow it step by step, like our 21-day fix program or the ab shredding muscle burns fat program. Plus, there's free support in personalized fitness groups with our community of over 2 million members. Now is the time, so don't wait. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.